Hunga! Hi. Hey everyone, what is up and welcome back to my channel, ShadeTV. My name is Marissa Hill. Je m'appelle Marissa Hill. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as well as give this video a thumbs up at the end if you enjoyed it. And do not forget to leave me any comments or questions that you may have on this review that we're about to do today. And as always, do not forget, smash that notification bell as we do want to alert you as soon as we have any new and upcoming videos. Comment t'appelles-tu? Anyone? Anyone? I knew I had some Parisian fans out there. That is right. So before we get started on this review, you guys have probably already guessed what we're going to be reviewing today. None other than the Paris Saint-Germain Jordan 4s, which you guys have already seen a Jordan 4 video that I've done. If you haven't, go back, watch those metallic court purples. I don't think it's the same color. Different kind of purple. Go back, watch that video, because it's going to establish the history portion of the Jordan 4 series. Or, sorry, Jordan 4 silhouette. Other than that, you guys, we are going to start today off with going through an overview of this beautiful colorway that is going to be an insane color for the fall. I'm so excited for this color. Then we're going to talk about sizing. I not only was able to cop this in adult sizing, but I was also able to cop it in a grade school sizing. So we're going to go through the differences on both of these shoes to see what I caught with my lovely eyes on what was different. Then we are going to hop into some history. I know that some of you probably have no idea about the soccer team or football team for you Europeans out there. So I want to talk about PSG a little bit in depth. Then we're going to hit up a guy who some of you may know as NEYMAR. Hopefully you know who this is. If not, stay tuned for that section because we are going to go in depth about who that soccer player, football player is. Then we're going to follow up with the styling portion. This is an insane shoe for the fall, so you guys are going to love that section. Definitely look forward to showing how I styled this shoe. Then we're going to conclude with Resale on how well this shoe did. It definitely sold out insanely fast. Sneakers, I hate you, you hate me, I don't get it. Let's get over this like hate relationship that we have with each other. You know you want to give me a shoe one of these days, right? Right? And that's how we will conclude this video. All right. We have now entered the city and I'm on my way to our next pickup. And this is the Jordan 4 Saint-Germain's. I'm really excited to see the colors on these. Really crowded in the city today. I don't know what's going on. Like, people are back out and shopping. All right, guys. See you again when we pick up the box. So now let's get into the overview on this shoe. All right, Bordeaux. I know you guys know what Bordeaux is as far as coloring because that is a region in France known for some amazing wine known as Bordeaux. And so you're probably expecting or questioning, why would they have colored this shoe in the Bordeaux colorway? Because we have usually seen this team styled in the traditional red, white, and blue coloring scheme, and we're not seeing that at all with this shoe, which I'm okay with because for the fall, I am loving this Bordeaux color. It is amazing. And I just think that they did such a great job with it. And as far as the Bordeaux coloring scheme, since that is such a famous region of France, they are definitely paying homage to France in so many different ways using this color. So let's just go through this. We have that beautiful tumbled leather that I love so much. I love the tumbled leather just because it's just so much more broken in. And sometimes I get this creasing mark in the toe area on some Nike leather shoes on the toe box that creases, and it kind of hurts my toes. But this tumbled leather is just so much squishier and malleable when it comes to walking with my toes in that toe box area, which is quite nice. So we've got that wraparound kind of nice, just simple, plain white tumbled leather throughout the shoe, which it just gives this nice base color for the other colors that really stand out from the shoe in different parts. So let's look at the back here. This is actually the Paris Saint-Germain logo that we're used to seeing, but instead of the Eiffel Tower that they usually have in the center here, it's pretty cool, but they replaced it with the Jumpman logo. And this is a nice rubber textured logo outlined in this nice pop of white, so that really stands out on top of this black coloring scheme. And then on the back of this pull tab here that bends back, oh, look at that. We've got something hidden in there. We have a 75. And then on the back in that Bordeaux colorway, we've got some grips here in that rubbery texture as well, in that black. And the Bordeaux is just nicely dispersed throughout the shoe. I love how, you know, it's kind of just on the inside of the tongue here. Nice fleece texture going on there. The collar is in that black. And then here we have the Paname, if I butchered that. This is actually a nickname for the city of Paris. So that's why they have that little tab there. So definitely some more homage to France that we're seeing all throughout the shoe. And then Paris is actually etched on the sock liner. We've got that Air Jordan on the inside of that tongue as well. And then we've got this beautiful, just simple nubuck light gray that kind of filters into that tumbled leather on the toe box area. Then we've got this black midsole with our white and kind of clear, just air bubble there, with more of that Bordeaux that is going around the medial and lateral side behind that heel. And we've got just simple white laces that have these gold tips, which I think is such a nice subtle addition to the shoe, is having the gold really pop off that Bordeaux. I really love Bordeaux colors with golds and tans, so definitely a great little simple attribute that they added to this shoe. Then here in this perforated area, we've got just that translucent sectioning off here where it's in black, where we can see that through that waffle-ish texture all throughout the tongue as well. We got the Jumpman logo in that black satin, and the Jumpman is in a white coloring scheme. And then we have the Paris Ici Sieste. Ici Sieste Paris. I'm not quite sure what that translates. So any of my Paris fans out there, let me know what that translates to. On the bottom, we've got the beautiful colors all on the outsole. So we've got that Bordeaux Jumpman with the white and the black on the gripping here, and then white to finish it off at the top of that toe box area. Just a beautiful shoe. I'm so excited how all these colors came out, and seeing them in person, I just love it even more. All right, so now let's jump into some sizing. So I want to talk about the grade school sizing versus the adult sizing. So I'm a 7.5 typically in Jordan 4s. I can definitely squeeze into a grade school size 7, but there's definitely a lot less room With the size 7.5 and men's, I'm definitely able to wear thicker socks, and I have a little extra space in that toe box area. But sometimes, you know, you just want to save a little bit of money and go for the grade school. I'm like, whatever, I'll just wear thinner socks for the grade school. So as far as it goes, both of these shoes came with the same exact box.
We got them in hand. What do you guys think of that limited edition box? I'm digging that maroon burgundy color, I'm not gonna lie. Can't wait to show you guys the unboxing. The Sephora was actually right next door, and I thought I might try to see if I could find my photo in here. Look what I found! It's me! That's me. With curls, I know.
I love this box. It's definitely a different feel, but it pairs so well with the shoes. It's got that Bordeaux coloring with Paris Saint-Germain logo on the top with the Jumpman logo in the center of that. Typically, sometimes we see that the grade school shoes will not have a special box. It'll just be like a regular, simple box that we're used to seeing, but they actually kept the box the same, which is amazing. So if you're collecting boxes and you're a big, huge fan of PSG, this is definitely a shoe if you're able to squeeze into it to go for the grade school sizes. So as far as the differences, I have scoped out both of these shoes and I really saw very little differences. Everything is exactly the same, except that I did notice that the men's sizing is definitely wider. So specifically, I have narrow feet, which is in part why I'm able to fit into grade school sizing. So if you are on the wider size, it may be more difficult for you to go for those grade school sizings just because it is a lot more narrow. And then as far as my high arches, because I have our high arches, I'm able to squeeze into a little bit smaller sizes sometimes. So if you have flat feet, it may be more difficult for you to go a half a size down like I was able to do. So as far as the coloring scheme goes on these shoes, I did notice that the Bordeaux on this shoe is quite different than the Bordeaux on the adult sizing shoe. So I'll try and get some closer up shots for you guys, but this is definitely a different kind of Bordeaux coloring. It's definitely not as deep of a Bordeaux. It's much lighter, comes off in the lighting as more of a purpley, bright color. And I definitely am just not a fan of how the coloring came out on this specific shoe. So I don't know if this is on all the grade school shoes, but as far as it goes, it's definitely not the same exact purple tone as I'm seeing on the adult shoe. So definitely something to keep in mind when you're deciding whether or not to go grade school, whether or not you want to stick with the adult sizing. So definitely you're going to save some money, but there are just a slight simple difference, which is that purple Bordeaux color tone. It is much brighter and much lighter. So it's not as much of a Bordeaux as I had imagined it being. This is definitely more closer to a wine coloring. All right, so now let's pop into some history, talk about who Paris Saint-Germain is and who's Neymar. All right, so before I hop into the history, I forgot to mention what the 75 is. This is actually Paris's zip code. So if you're wondering why in the world would they put a 75 on this pull tab, there you have it. All right, so now let's talk about who Paris Saint-Germain is. And for those of you in America, we call it soccer teams. For those of you elsewhere, I know you call it football. So Paris Saint-Germain is one of France's most successful clubs, having won more than. Ground is the Parc des Princes, founded in 1970. PSG won their first major honor, the French Cup, in 1982. And their maiden League One title in 1986. So this is definitely a younger team, some would say, but they definitely have some history of great wins in the bag. So as far as players go, I know that the majority of you know who Neymar is, and all soccer players in the world. I know some of you would argue this, but you do know that Neymar is up there in the top list of the greatest athletes in soccer/football. So as far as it goes, some would say Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi are better, but I know those of you who are undoubtedly supporters of Paris and are based in France, you definitely are team Neymar. And so you were probably going hard for this shoe because this is definitely a representation of him as well as the PSG team. So as far as Neymar goes, we have seen Neymar being endorsed by Nike. He was paid a ton of money through Nike, and it really makes sense that, you know, they did another shoe based upon this team with Neymar being on it, except for the fact that Neymar has actually left Nike and has moved on to Puma for a whopping, according to Forbes, a whopping $30 million a year. Oh my God. Just want to cut off my hair and try and be just the greatest football player of all time if I could be. Oh my God. $30 million a year? Like, that is insane. I guess would you guys have walked away from Nike, or would you have just stayed because you're loyal to Nike, or would you have done it for the money like Neymar did? $30 million a year. That's pretty good for somebody's salary, I would say, just to wear a pair of shoes. That's crazy. All right, so moving on, that's a little bit of history on PSG and Neymar, but now I want to get into the styling portion. So let's talk about the shoe and these colors. Definitely a great fall colorway in my opinion. The first look that I decided to go with was actually just a dressier kind of look. So I definitely think that these shoes can be paired with skirts. So one of the skirts that I went with was just a ripped up R13 long denim skirt. So we are getting into the fall. It's about to get cold out here in New York. And so I'm trying to give you guys a mixture of outfits that are a little bit warmer as we're reaching the temperatures of around 50 to 60 degrees. So right now I rocked this denim R13 skirt. Light denim, I think, just made these colors absolutely pop. I paired that with just this simple kind of creamish tank top, as well as a puffer coat from Zara and this very just kind of goldenly bronzy color, which I think really vibes with the tips of these laces. And again, I mentioned earlier, I really think that kind of golds and tans really just, I don't know what it is. It just goes great with this Bordeaux coloring scheme.
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. We the one. The darkness I rose up, gold in my soul, it's a gold rush. Honor and freedom, I toast up. Kicking game on the snare drum, hard on the beat, let it bleed out like sacrifices. Cut it open, emotions spilling like oil and coasting. Therapy for my mental, I'm pinning a pistol and shoot down the criticisms individually. I heard the voices that told us, throw dirt on my name and wish me the worst and scold us, Shot through the heart and pray on my downfall. But Young T prevailed on my outlaw. Stand on top of the table like John Wall. Got the cross on my chest like Olympic gold. Rapid smooth on the floor like a jazz.
So that was my first look that I selected. Next up, I decided to go with a different outfit with different coloring schemes. So for this, for my Supreme guys out there, I wore and rocked that sun tee. I think the sun tee just has this great vibe to it that's fun. So I paired that with some plaid, a plaid blazer by ALC. And for those of you who know a lot about the fall trends, one of the biggest fall trends right now is going to be kind of this schoolgirl plaid look. It's been seen on the runways. So I definitely wanted to give you guys some more fashion forward ideas, and I do think that plaid is going to be a huge game changer this fall and winter. And I think that this shoe definitely is a shoe that works very well with plaid patterns as well as blazers. So with that blazer, I just paired it with some nice, simple, plain black biker shorts. As we see here, we've got different accents of black throughout this silhouette. So definitely nice to just pair it with the simple blacks. As you guys know, I love me some black and some dark gray.
I only work in black. and sometimes very, very dark gray.
Dirt on my name and wish me the worst and scold us, yeah. Shot through the heart and pray on my downfall. But Young T prevailed on my outlaw. Stand on top of the table like John Wall. Got the cross on my chest like Olympic gold. Rap it smooth on the floor like a jazz song. Witness greatness, look up in LeBron home. Remember next time for you doubt us. That only made me go John Jones. HGH, I got the shortcut. God on my side, you got bad luck. Look at how they all doubt us, yeah, they doubt us, yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated, yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated, we the ones, yeah, we the ones, we the ones, yeah, we the ones, yeah.
Just a sentimental kid with a little bit of attention deficit. Hyperactive disorder, always out of.
And that was the second look. All right, so for the last and final look, I dressed it up a little bit more. Leather is going to be huge this fall and winter. We are seeing tons of leather options on the runway. And so I paired just basic kind of light brown leather skirt from Zara, and it had some gold buttons on it, which again, I think pairs well with this Bordeaux as they did with the shoelace tips on this. And I paired that with just a nice kind of short turtleneck black shirt. And I just think all of these are just great fall colors together. The brown tones I feel like really worked and vibed off the Bordeaux, as well as the black obviously really vibed off of the subtle hues of black throughout the shoe. And I think that was just a great kind of fall coloring scheme for what we're going to see for the seasons ahead.
Yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated, we the ones, yeah, we the ones, we the ones, yeah, we the ones, yeah.
Just a sentimental kid with a little bit of attention deficit. Hyperactive disorder, always out of order. I never had a chance though, but I would've wished on every single sad song. Never really knowing the moments.
All right, so all of you get in this comment box, write me, let me know what your favorite outfit was, or let me know how you guys would style this shoe. All right, now let's conclude with the resale on how these shoes are currently doing. All right, so let's talk about resale. Both of these shoes retailed for different prices. So we got the grade school, which sold for $140, and the retail on the adults was $225. So for those of you who are seeing the vlog footage that I did, I was able to pick each of these up at different stores, but I won the different store raffles, so I was able to pick them up in store, which is why I'm able to get this video out to you guys so soon. All right, we are at the last stop. I'm running on E. I'm so hungry. Need to fuel up the tank here soon before I pass out. Need some bubble tea and some coffee in me. But about to pick up an adult sizing in the Jordan 4s for my last in-store win. So we shall see if they're any different than the kids ones that I just picked up at Kids Foot Locker. All right, see you guys in a minute.
I got no colors up there. Alright, so just leaving this Foot Locker, and let me tell you something about how bad the customer service is in there. Most places we didn't actually have to check in on a list, and the guy who's holding the list was literally sitting on his fucking lazy ass in the store. Like, oh, you didn't check in? After I waited in line for about 20 minutes to basically get my shoe, he made me get back in line. So, sorry, but I will say, worst customer service at this Brooklyn location. So if you literally, like, I've worked in retail. If I was sitting on my ass like that on some shelves, I would get fired. But this guy's like, oh no, I don't give a Like, you're in retail, do your up.
You probably saw me bitching about one of the stores. Yeah, you know what? Let's just take a quick break and get into some shade real quick, actually. I cannot stand it when you go into a retail store. Number one thing is, if you're gonna work in customer service, learn how to actually be a good person inside a store with some customer service. If you don't like people, then why are you in an industry where you have to deal with people? Because at one of these Foot Lockers, I mean, this guy literally was hiding off to the side. You couldn't even see him with this list to check in. Gives me attitude because all of a sudden he has to look at this list and see where my name is. I'm like, I'm so sorry for keeping you from basically texting on your phone all day. It's not like you're at work or anything. I mean, when I was in retail, which I worked in retail for over 10 years, so I'm not just doing this just to bitch like I'm a princess or anything like that. I've been in retail and I know how to work my ass off. And so to see the laziness at the store today and the treatment that I received, it's just like, get another job if you don't enjoy the job that you're doing right now. It's like, you're probably doing it for the shoes, I get it, but like it gives you no reason to mistreat customers who are just asking a simple question as to where they need to check in. Not my fault, not my problem. Stop being lazy. All right, that's the shade. Let's get back into the resale. So as far as the resale goes, these shoes are not doing so bad. They definitely flew off the shelves very quickly. For the adult sizes across the board, it's reselling for around $300. So not too bad. As far as the kids go, that's going for around $200. So definitely was a better pickup to get the kids because it was much more affordable. But again, remember I talked about that color difference. So depending on how much you care about how Bordeaux the shoe coloring is, this was definitely the way to go if you could have fit your feet in it. All right, guys, thank you so much again for tuning into ShadeTV. My name is Marissa Hill. Again, if you're new to my channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, you guys. We are almost to 8,000 subscribers. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's create this bigger ShadeTV community. We are almost there. I don't even know what the number count is. It's just going up, but I know that we can get to this 8,000 by the end of tonight. So if you are new, hit that subscribe. All right, and if you guys enjoyed this review, do not forget to smash it and give it a thumbs up. These thumbs ups help get my videos viewed, so it is much appreciated. As well as do not forget to hit that notification bell because we have a ton of heat that's coming your way this week that you're not gonna wanna miss. All right, everyone, until the next video, we will see you then.